Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jtcoinrings here on another episode of Let's Chat. Man, we got a power-packed show today. We got two heavy hitters happening right now in the precious metal community. We have no other than the gold Spartan himself coming today. He's going to show tell about his operation, how he started, let you know what's going on in his site. He also is a YouTube creator and also on Instagram. Then we going all the way to Canada. We're going to go see my friend Wade from Muldooms Customs, one of the best coin ring creators out there, hands down. I love his rings. I have one of them for myself. Personally, I've been a fan of his since I started. He's an awesome guy. He will be here tonight to talk about how he operates and how things going up in Canada. I like to see my chat. Phil, we have been here early. We have Budget Bullion Stacker, Michael M. We also had my friend Stormy. We have OC Omega Shadow Stacking. Thank you so much, man, for coming by. I really appreciate it. You could be anywhere on YouTube, but you chose to be here, and you came to the right place because we have some awesome guests for you today. You're definitely going to learn about how these titans are making it in the precious metal community by making precious metals their business. They're not just stackers, preppers, and also use silver and gold as investments. They also make beautiful art with it. So you have opportunity to meet them. Hey, my name is Jtcoinrings. For those who do not know, I'm making videos on YouTube 1 to 2 times out the week. And every Saturday of 2020, you'll see me on Let's Chat. I have a segment in Let's Chat called Coin Ring Talk, and that's where I talk to coin ring creators of the community. I also meet with my friend, Urban Lifestyle, on Silver Talk every Sunday at 1 p.m. Check us out there. You'll also see the videos here on my channel as well. So if you don't know me, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Make sure, if you like the content, make sure you hit that button up. If you leave it down, don't stick around. Come back for another show and we'll make it up to you. But we got two prizes that I give every show. I try to give every show. We give one from each creator because I want you to experience what these guys make firsthand. And the best way to do that is by having it in your hand. So you have two chances today. And if you've been on my live stream before, I was known to give out 13 prizes in one live stream, anywhere from gold to platinum, just because I love my community. But that's not going to happen tonight. Just letting y'all guys know, I've done it in the past. So what's going on, guys? What's going on in the chat? What we can talk about? Um, anything new? Any new videos? Any new things happen on your channel that you'd like to discuss? Leave it in the chat. If you have any questions about for any one of my guests, make sure you put it in the chat. Put 3 question marks behind your question so I can see it. I want to make sure that I give ample enough time to the guests just in case we have time for that to be answered. Okay. Michael M makes a comment. He says JT and his 10 prizes. Yes, I have been known in my giveaways to give away a couple prizes, some by accident. But tonight, I've become a master of this. I have my questions written on a piece of paper, so you will not get me this time like we did earlier on of Let's Chat. Because we have some awesome prizes. You're going to be very happy with these things. All right, we have Budget Bullion in the house. Budget Bullion, video going up later tonight. Great, man, and we make sure we go by and support you. What is the topic? What is the topic for that Budget Bullion? If you have a couple minutes before our first guest, I wouldn't mind having you on so you can talk about that. Guys, we also have a ticker at the bottom of the screen. It says donate to the channel. You don't have to, but if you choose to, my PayPal is at jtcoinrings@gmail.com. This does help with promoting the channel and for things that I do for giveaways, also for mailing out things on a weekly basis. And it just helps the channel out. So if you'd like to help the channel out, hit me up on jtcoinrings@gmail.com. It helps with the prizes. I like to offer prizes to people who come on to the show. It's the right thing to do. You got to do something. All right. So what we got going on the chat here? JT. Okay, we got here. JT, how many annealing sessions per ring? Good question. Cold, still truth. It all depends on the ring. If I'm dealing with a 90% silver ring, like a JFK, a Ben Franklin, constitutional silver of the sort, or if I'm dealing with a 0.99 fine silver, I want to anneal as much as possible. I've annealed as much as 10 times, depending on me stretching, depending on me putting it in the Swedish wrap, which brings the size down to straighten up the walls of my ring. You really want to make sure you do not stretch the ring when it's cold. You're going to deal with cracks, rips. These are things that kill the aesthetics of the coin. So I always say, if you're thinking about stretching, anneal it. Quench it while it's still steaming. Put it on a ring stretcher. If you're thinking about bringing the size down, anneal it. Wrap it up in the plumbing tape, Teflon tape, if you want to call it that. Put it inside the Swedish wrap. As it go down, then it's going to work harden. Do you want to anneal it again? So you never can anneal enough. You just don't want to put the flame too much on the precious metal because it causes reticulation. It causes other striations that you are damaging that beautiful shine of that coin. So you want to be careful, but anneal as much as you can. But watch out how much heat you put on that precious metal. I hope that answers your question. If you have any more questions like that, email me at jtcoinrings@gmail.com, and I'll try my best to answer. And I'll make sure I'll ask that question when talking to my friend Wade. He comes on tonight from Muldooms Customs. He's an expert, I believe, in making coin rings. So I'll see what he thinks about this as well. Okay, we have something for Michael M. Michael M says, don't forget JT also accepts canned goods donations. His P.O. box is in his, yes it is. I do accept canned goods. I believe in prepping. I have a video coming out on Monday with my good friend Scrapping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fun. I hope you enjoy that. I definitely appreciate my man for sending me that package, but the video will be out on Monday, okay? Budget bullion stacker, less per, more annealing. Good question. Good question. Because you have other components of that coin. You have silver and you also have copper. Copper takes a little bit more heat than silver. So yes, I would say a little bit more annealing when it comes to constitutional silver. Thank you, Cole. Still, I appreciate JT. Thanks, brother. You're the best. I appreciate that. Them sentiments, my man. We have my friend Ben Ranfeld, my man. He also has an Instagram. Check him out. He's an excellent coin ring maker. I tell you, me and Ben have built a relationship over the last couple months, and I really appreciate it. Anytime there's a deal on American Silver Eagles, my man Ben hooks me up. He calls me and say, JT, hits me up on Instagram, and he posts that deal for me. And then we talk and we share ideas on the coin ring journey. And I was on his live last night on Instagram. So check out his Instagram. Ben, when you have a chance, put in your Instagram name in the chat so I can share it on the screen so guys can go check it out and check out your work as well. He also has an Etsy page. So I'm hoping one day we can also have him on the segment of Coin Ring Talk. Yes. Michael M. JT, want to see the wallet I tried making. Yeah, most definitely. Send a picture to my Instagram. And I got to talk to you also about some things as well. Michael M is a wonderful leathersmith. He makes wallets, keychains, anything you need. Right now, I know he's probably booked, but he's also on Instagram. I'd like Michael to do a little video, or I may put one together, a little commercial, so I can put on my videos to help support his endeavors as well. Okay, who else is in the chat? We have, okay. Okay, the time is 11:58. We got 4 minutes until our first guest. Our first guest will be no other than the Gold Spartan. Let me show you some of his work. You check him out on Instagram as the Gold Spartan. This right here, logo. There's some of the pours that he has. This is a 2-ounce 0.999 fine silver pour. He does excellent work. Look at this here, the design. I tell you, he takes time, he puts effort into his design. Beautiful bar here. Nice lines. And we have here some of the other figures that he do, and we will talk to him today to see exactly how he started this up. So yes, this right here, we will be talking to no other than the Gold Spartan. All right, let me go here. Let me share that on the screen. I was talking all that time, I was not sharing it. Yeah, let me see here. Voila. There you go, the Gold Spartan. There we go. There we go. This is work right here. And these is what I love. I love these pics right here. You have Spider-Man, Iron Man, and I believe that's Captain America. Absolutely. I'm gonna ask him how many ounces each one these are. Absolutely beautiful work. He's definitely an artist, and I know he takes time and put great care into his work. So, guys, we will be talking to him in about 1 minute. He is definitely in the queue. I see him. My other friend just showed up as well from Muldooms Customs, all the way from Canada. All right. Any questions? Any concerns? Oh, yes, we got Nick McLean. How you doing, Nick? Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you coming in. Nick is from Badlands Coins up in Canada as well. We have a lot of Canadians here tonight. Mint condition coin rings. What's going on? All we from North Carolina. We have no other than Eric. He's definitely been featured on the show. One of my favorite. All right, Gold Spartan. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come on. Thumbs up here, guys. We will be introduce you now to the Gold Spartan. All right, here we go. Hey, how you feeling?
Good. How you doing, JT?
Doing pretty good, man. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for joining me on Let's Chat. We definitely talked earlier, man, and I really appreciate you taking the time out to share with my subscribers. And I hope that you enjoy your time on here. You can be doing anything, but you chose to come up here on Let's Chat to answer my crazy questions. But I think I kept it conservative as possible. I had a lot of movie references that I wanted to I wanted to try out because I'm a Spartan fan myself. I have some things here around my studio.
Very nice.
Me and my daughter be playing. We go to Party City, and I make sure I have all that stuff, and we be playing with the swords and stuff. I'm a big Spartan fan. So but we have a couple people in the chat, and I wanted to get some questions prior, but I couldn't get any. But I told them if they have some questions, we'll answer at a later time. So go ahead, tell us about yourself. Who is the Gold Spartan?
Well, I'm a pretty normal person, just like anybody else.
Uh-huh.
Gold, pouring silver is not my career. It is just a hobby for me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually own an insurance agency. Life insurance is my full-time job,
Okay.
and just was a stacker that saw some cool pours and said, you know what, I bet I could do that, and just kind of went from there. I picked the gold Spartan because gold is my favorite metal to stack,
Okay.
and Spartans have always been an inspiration. It's something that I've always liked, and so I thought, hey, a Spartan on a silver bar would be pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
People would buy that, and yeah, that's kind of how it took off.
Now, being in insurance, were you a broker? What you call? Is
Yeah, we're an insurance broker. So I work with a bunch of different insurance carriers and
Mhm.
shop around for my customers, all that kind of stuff.
So I would assume that having proper life insurance, and also you would also were you a big investor or stacker in precious metals?
I don't know if I would say big, that's relative,
Uh
but
huh.
yeah, I started out stacking American Eagles, Silver Eagles, and kind of went that direction, and then got into some gold, and ended up selling all my
Mm.
silver to get into gold, and now I'm
Okay.
I mainly stack gold Eagles, 1/10 gold Eagles, and a few other things here and there, but that's kind of my main thing.
What made you make the switch? What is your philosophy on precious metals when it comes down to choosing gold or silver?
So I'm not much of a doomsday prepper
Okay.
type of person, and nothing wrong with that. I know you said you are one of those, and I just my priorities were never there, and so as my silver stack got really big, the main reason I stack silver is that if I'm going to spend money, I can get that same satisfaction of buying something, but it's a
Hmm.
cool coin or something like that, and then I can't really spend it easily, right? I'd have to get online and try and find a buyer, and so it's more of a savings account for me. And then having a hedge against inflation long term, is a decent benefit. But really, it's just uh, if I don't buy that, then I buy something else that's never going to get me any return and has no value.
Okay.
So I can buy some gold and know that if worst came to worst, I could always sell it and make some additional money.
Most definitely. I found myself that I love silver, but I do tend to love gold a little bit more. I understand the price goes up, but I really believe that it holds its value,
Yeah.
and it takes up less space, and I don't have much space to store my precious metals. So gold has been my go-to for the last couple months. I try to save up for maybe something as small as a 1/10 if I'm really pushing it, if I'm giving to my daughters as gifts. But I try to at least save for a quarter ounce of gold and maybe a half. Because and that's definitely gonna be my goal as well as for 2020. I believe is a good store of my money. It's also, like I said, a hedge against for inflation. So the gold Spartan, and we did touch on this a little bit. What characteristics do you identify with the classic warrior, and how does it translate to your business?
So the Spartan story has always been motivating to me, in that they're specialized in war and fighting, and that's their focus. So from birth, they're trained, to be good at really one thing.
Mhm.
Um, and no surrender. We go to the end. And so I've tried to have that philosophy in all areas of my life, where when I go after something, I go after it.
Right.
And just like with pouring, I've only been pouring less than a year. um, and started off seeing MK bars and bullion, and the cool stuff that he does, um, and it just kind of grew, and I went all in. So just kind of having that no quit attitude. My furnace broke, uh, I don't know, 3 or 4 times just in the last couple of days,
Oh wow.
and I've got like a million orders that I'm trying to fulfill. And so literally I would heat the silver up for a few minutes and it would break, and I'd have to go in there and fix it. Um, and that's just part of how, a lot of things in life go, but pouring especially. And
Hmm.
um, so yeah, just the Spartan attitude of, no surrender, just, go all in on something, become an expert at it. And I feel like you win that way.
I agree. Well, what made you get into the precious metal business?
Accident. um,
Okay.
so actually, there's a service called Investor Crate, and I saw some ads for it, and I always was kind of attracted to gold and silver, and I thought, well, let me go check it out.
Uh,
That's kind of what led me to Facebook groups, and then Instagram. And I got into Instagram with raffles, and so I
okay.
ran a bunch of raffles that way, and did really well with them. I was man, I mean, I was killing it in raffles. But then I kind of did some more research on that, and technically, and I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade here, but technically raffles are illegal.
Yes.
And this was just a hobby for me. And again, I didn't want to. I didn't really do enough research to see, is that really something I need to worry about. And I had already started getting into pouring, and I thought, well, why don't I just move full time into that? And I've been looking for a hobby to do in my free time anyway.
Hmm.
And if you can do a hobby that also pays you, that's not a bad situation
I,
to be
I,
in.
I agree.
And then after pouring, even brand new people saw my work, and I was getting attention for it, and uh, it just kept getting better as I learned more, and here we are.
Okay. So look on Instagram, also YouTube. Many people are doing pours. One thing I do like is creativity. There's so many ways to do it. Open pours. People use Delft clay. They also use regular molds. What makes your work different?
So really, in the beginning, I think I just picked better molds than some other people, and those little keychains, little figures like Spider-Man that you saw, bought
Yes.
those on Wish. If you've heard of the Wish app, bought those little things there, and they came out really good, and people, kind of fell in love with them.
Hmm.
And so I was good at picking out the just the items that I thought people would want. And now, since then, you can see over here is my 3D printer. Um,
Yes.
and so I can make, all kinds of things like this. These are little things that I give
Keychain.
away. Yeah, little keychains that I give away,
Hmm.
little cases, um, for all of my, for the bars and things like that. Um, I wish I had more examples to show y'all, but basically the now I can create my own designs, and
Hmm.
then in doing that, uh, I'm not going to explain how I do this, but if you look at, this is my Spartan bar,
Yes.
and if you notice the texture, this is really kind of what initially set my stuff apart. Um, was that there actual is texture here. It's not just a flat bar.
Well,
So if you saw in the Mandalorian, the Beskar bars, this is where I got that design from.
okay.
And yeah, and so it looks different, and looks more detailed, and just I think is unique. I haven't seen anybody else do that. And once I learned how, I ran with it. That's where I did the dragon bars with the different dragon
Right.
scales and things like that. So that's probably what would set myself apart right now, is that I can get a lot better detail and I can get a lot more unique designs because I'm able to create them from scratch.
Yeah, and I've seen that cleaner lines. I see in your pores. I see that you take risk with the design, and I know I looked at one of the molds that you created, the 3D it's called it 3D imaging. I think you had one side of the mask you had like a skeleton, then the other side you had Iron Man, and I believe you also did an Incredible Hulk um, one as well, which is absolutely wonderful. There you go. Look at the detail on that. That is wonderful. Now, how many ounces of silver is that?
This one I think was around 6 ounces. Um, I'll show y'all one that I literally just poured.
Wow, is that
You can
Spartan?
tell who that is. This is the Mandalorian
A Mandalorian.
from the Mandalorian show. This one is 8.3 ounces. So this one
Eight.
is a big piece. I
Wonderful.
don't normally do big pieces like this as much. Some of these are actually a custom order for a guy that loves Marvel. This is Thor.
That's nice.
Um,
Now,
now,
how using the 3D imaging, how long will that process take from sketching, from creating the 3D image into going to the pour? How long does that process take you?
so it depends on the item. So a lot of these sculptures I did not personally design, the
Hmm.
Hulk. Um, when you get into 3D printing, there's a website you can go to and you can download all kinds of designs.
Hmm.
Some you pay for, some are free. And so I just download the design. Now printing them, depending on the print, can take 12 hours,
Wow.
6 hours. These little cases like this take a couple hours, to about 2 hours total for each piece.
Uh
So you
huh.
have the bottom piece and you have the top piece. Um, so a couple hours, for each one. So the printing takes a while. It prints these layer by layer, and the layers are about what is it, 0.16 millimeters each. So
Okay.
0.16 millimeters. So if you divide that out, you can see how long that can take.
Oh wow. That's a process, but I'm sure you apply all that into consideration when it comes down to pricing and sending it out to the customer.
Yeah.
You
Now,
figure
like
that.
to give you an example, this was an old mold that I made. So this one I custom designed. So this is the very first Spartan round
Mm-hmm.
that I ever made. Um, and when you actually look at it's not the greatest. Looks good probably from here.
It's nice.
Um, and so I custom designed that, but then I did a little bit more work, got a little bit better. And so this is my brand new gold Spartan round. Um,
Oh, that's
so
not
these
okay.
ones, I custom design. Now I have to create an image on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a 3D modeling software that lets you sketch basically in 3D.
Right.
And so that's how I make the designs. And then from there, you send it to your printer and print it out. And then you still have to pour it.
Wow. That process. It seems daunting, but it seems like it still have a create. So, what helps you to create? What makes you come up with your idea of what you want to create next? I know you have the molds and the things that's already done, but what's the process in your mind that takes you to that step of creating something new?
So one of the things that I wanted to do when I came into the pouring world was be unique in the field.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, any sandcaster can make this Hulk. There's nothing unique about it. It looks good, and not very many people are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that had the equipment could make that happen.
Right.
So I didn't want to just do those types of things. So that's where the dragon bars came from. And I knew dragons are just popular. I like dragons. I think everybody likes dragons. So I thought that's kind of what sparked the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the texture, and the very first Beskar bar that I did has that Damascus steel kind of texture to it. I was like, well, that's not the only texture I can do. Let me go look at what other textures are there. And I started looking around, and when I thought about dragons, I thought, well, that would be really cool if I had, scales in the background.
Right.
And that's kind of what sparked that. Outside of that, I'm trying to go and do, pirate stuff and what else? There's different things like that. Skulls are very popular, but I'm looking for ways to do it differently.
Okay.
And so that's, I like to pour what people like.
Right.
Otherwise, no one's going to buy it. But at the same time, I want to do it differently. I want to be unique in that field.
Well, I know a friend of mine who's in the chat now, Blades and Bullion, made a point to me. He said, people like when something is created and it's numbered, so it's like a series basically. So your double dragon coin that you just created, round you just created, are you looking to expound on that to make maybe once round and maybe 4 or 5 more creations? Are you trying to do that with any of your rounds?
So the dragon bars are numbered, and there's 5 designs. And so I have a lot of people that are collecting those, and then I've got the different cases that they come in. For rounds, honestly, that dragon round, I created the mold for it a while ago, and I just hadn't poured it yet. And then when I poured it, it just came out awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm not against it. It kind of depends on what comes out. I want to do what people like I said. Rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the issue. Rounds people buy a lot more of.
Yeah.
And so if someone wants to buy 10 rounds from me, what you don't understand about sand casting is that every time that you pour, you destroy the mold.
Yeah.
You destroy the sand, right? It burns the sand. And so you have to take apart the mold. You have to scoop out the bad sand. You have to refill it. You have to make an impression, then cover it up, go through that whole process again. So for rounds, I like rounds, and I'm probably going to do a couple of different versions of rounds, but I really have to, for my time's sake, because again, I don't do this full time, I have to stick to more 2, 3, 4, 5 ounce pieces, so that I'm not, that I don't have to sit there for a whole day and do a bunch of 1 ounce rounds.
Yeah.
I'm just not, I don't have the equipment, or I'm a one-man show, right?
Right.
So I do it all, and so that's why I don't do too many rounds, but I will do some.
We have here. I made sure I put the ticket below to have the goldspartan.com. This is where where we will find majority of your work. We find your post on your Instagram, but I wanted to show your website while we're here. So. 1 second, let me put that share screen on. And I wanted to share that to show people where they can find the goldspartan.com. And we go here. And there we go. This is right here is your website. You see that?
Yeah.
Yep. And there we go. And guys, we have the goldspartan.com. You can come here to check out his featured work. We just talked about the Gold Spartan round, the Dragon Bar Series 4, the Spartan Bar, and also the Dragon Bar design. He also created something you can place these in, which is magnetic cases. Totally creative. But we have a treat tonight for a lucky subscriber. This is not the one. I think I stepped, not this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have the dragon one?
Go to the store. Okay. You're on the featured right now. Go to the actual store, and I believe it's on there.
Let me see here. tonight we have.
Oh, it's on there.
There we go.
There it is.
All right, guys. Tonight, this is what the prize will be to a lucky subscriber. This is the one that we discussed earlier, showing the creativity. Look at this beautiful round. It's the double dragon. Look at that. Only on the Jtcoinrings. Let's chat. Try to bring you the best guests and also show you some of the best work. Something you can leave. Hopefully you leave this channel tonight. One of you guys will win this beautiful round created by the Gold Spartan himself. Can you tell us a little bit more about this as I'm showing it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that I made it was that one of the dragons is raised and the other dragon is depressed. And this round is antiqued. And basically what that means is that I put a solution on it that forms a layer on the silver that makes it darker. So actually originally it's almost black. And then I use baking soda and I rub it with my hands, and I can only rub the raised surfaces. And so what that does is it makes all of the raised surfaces lighter because I'm rubbing off that first layer. And everything that is depressed is darker, and it's what brings out the pop of the detail. So if you look at all my pieces, you can see they kind of have a gray tint. But the detail in it that is lowered is darker, and that's because again it's been toned, yeah, and so it's 1 ounce. All the silver that I use, by the way, is 9999, and I think I'm the only one that I've seen that does that. I don't buy just rounds and melt those. I only buy 9999 silver shot. I've seen what I use.
I did watch on Instagram. You had a real big like a shot. I don't know how many ounces was in it, but I know one thing. I got excited when I saw it. So
yeah, that was 100 ounces.
100
almost.
Ounces.
Not quite 100 fits in there, but probably 95 ounces. And I bought.
Awesome, man. Yeah, cool.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. So I bought 100 ounces at a time, and then melt it and do my pours until I run out, and then I go from there and buy another 100 ounces.
Oh wow! I mean, that's probably the best way to do it. So tell me this.
Yeah, it locks in that price, and that's I don't change my pricing based on spot. My pricing is set, and so the better price I can get the silver for, the better it is. But times like now, when you have silver that goes up to 1850, I don't raise my prices because of that. I keep my prices where they're at.
Wow. Pretty awesome. Tell the chat where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm most active on Instagram, which is the Gold Spartan 23. I do have a Facebook page as well that I'm just now kind of getting started. So if you want to help me out, go find that, and again, just search for the Gold Spartan 23 and join that page. And then on my website, goldspartan.com. Those are probably the easiest ways. My website has a chat function. If you don't have Instagram, you're welcome to chat with me on there. And then Facebook, you can do Messenger. So any of those places is a good way to get a hold of me. And if you have any questions or anything like that, I'm always open.
Awesome. All right, but guys, I know that I have it was an echo, so I just muted his mic for a second. So basically, we're going to do the giveaway, but underneath the ticket, you see that if you want to order anything from his site, and that's the goldspartan.com, he's offering free shipping on anything $50 or more from January 11th to the 13th, and you use the code JTCoin. So you'll be able to go to his site and get free shipping on anything from $50 or more on his site that you saw today for and from January 11th to the 13th. Okay, so all right.
All right, sorry about that.
No problem.
My Bluetooth went out and I couldn't hear anything, so I had to take it out. But we're good now.
All right, no problem. I just wanted to make sure that I've told people about the coupon, and just to make sure, the code is JTCoin, correct?
JTCoin, yeah, without the S, JTCoin. Anything over $50, which is almost everything, free shipping. And yeah, and last thing I do want to say before is here's one of JT's own creations. He made me a Spartan coin ring. So I'm not just on the show because he invited me. I'm on the show because I'm a customer of his and I love his work.
I appreciate that support, man. We've been talking for a while about that the ring, so I'm glad you picked one that you actually like, and I appreciate the support. It's definitely awesome.
Absolutely, man.
All right, guys, we're going to do the giveaway, and then we're going to have our next guest on. Have you ever met Wade from Muldooms Customs?
I haven't met him in person or anything. We started chatting just recently.
Okay.
It's actually about the Double Dragon round,
Right.
you know, and so we've chatted a few times. But yeah, good guy.
He's an excellent guy. Got him waiting to the queue. Wade, give me a couple more seconds, okay, brother? He gave me a thumbs up, so good. I always think he's like a Canadian mobster, man. I'm not trying to get hurt.
Exactly, yeah.
Man, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the giveaway. Give away that beautiful Double Dragon round that was created by the Gold Spartan. I have a question that those in the chat have to answer. Okay? So give me a 1 if you're ready. You have to give me a 1. If you want to participate in this, you have to give me a 1. All right? Let me know if you guys are ready. Make sure that your live chat is on. We got 1s from everybody. We have 7, 8 people in the chat right now. Some bailed out. They're going to miss the opportunity to win this beautiful round. Now, in this giveaway, you have to listen to me. It's a 3-part answer. You have to give it to me in the order that I ask. Okay? The first one that does that will win this beautiful round from the Gold Spartan. All right? So listen closely. All right. This is the Gold Spartan God. Now, this is not sponsored by YouTube. This is not sponsored by the Gold Spartan. This is all sponsored by Jtcoinrings and Let's Chat. All rules and regulations that YouTube have must be followed. None of the giveaways will be mailed to any U.S. territories or any that U.S. that YouTube do not regulate, and that will be in the description of this video once posted. So I have to say that prior to the start of this giveaway. I suppose to read it at the beginning of but I forgot. But I told you then. So this is the question. So guys, 3 parts. 3 parts. Okay, in 2006, an American period action film based on the 1998 comic series of the same name by Frank Miller and Lynn Berry. Both are fictionalized retelling of the Battle of Thermopylae. Hope I pronounced that right. Within the Persian Wars. The film was directed by Zack Snyder, while Miller served as executive producer and consultant. It was filmed mostly with a superimposition chroma key technique to help replicate the imagery of the original comic book. Now, these are the 3 questions. What is the name of the movie? What is the name of the leading actor? And the name of his character in the film? You can go now. 3 parts. That's right.
I know the answers. Can I win my own?
That would be so convenient, right?
Yeah, that would be. Ship it to myself. It's one of my favorite movies.
All right.
I actually have the comic book or the graphic novel.
Awesome. Awesome. We got a winner. The first person we have a winner. We have a winner. We have a winner. And the good thing about it, remember, guys, it's coming from my screen. So once I screenshot my screen, I will put that on Instagram. But here we go. Let me go check. Yep. Screenshot it. Boom. All right. The answer is to the question. The name of the movie, of course, is 300. I had to pick that movie, talking about the Gold Spartan.
Absolutely.
The leading actor was Gerard Butler, and his character in the film was King Leonidas. So that winner was no other than the God King himself, since Potter Jams bowed out, is Michael M. Michael M., the double dragon round is on his way to Canada. It's on its way. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Hope you enjoy it.
He says it's a pretty good movie. Congratulations. All right. Michael M. wins everything. I have not been on a live stream and seen him not do it. Congratulations, Michael. All right. Go, Spartan. You have anything you'd like to say before you leave?
Yeah, just, again, thanks for having me on, and you do awesome work, so I'm definitely happy to contribute in any way that I can, and thank all the viewers for watching, and hope you all enjoy my work. And if you'll have any other suggestions or ideas, I'm always open to hear them.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you taking the time out to come on Let's Chat, be the first guest of 2020.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, talk to you later.
All right. All right, guys. That was the Gold Spartan. You can find him once again on Instagram, also on his website, thegoldspartan.com. And remember the coupon for free shipping, $50 or more, January 11th to the 13th. Use the code word Jtcoin. All right, we have, without your delay, we have the one and only. We have the one and only Muldooms Customs, one of my favorite coin ring guys. Me and Eric shares the same sentiment. I think it's one of the best out there, if not the best. I think we used to post coin rings on Instagram. I think I liked every last one. Every last one. I remember as soon as he put it up, I asked him, how did you get that? How do you get the wall so straight? The symmetry. Everything about this man's coin rings impressed me. I'm a fan of his work. He's a very cool guy. I think all Canadians are just cool. Maybe it's in the water, maybe it's in the maple syrup. I don't know what it is. They're just cool individuals. And getting a chance to know this gentleman is a pleasure. And I'm so happy to have him on as the first coin ring crafter of 2020. Introducing my friend Wade Olsen. Wade, how you doing?
Good, you?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's Chat, man. I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule just to be on. We got a couple of our friends in the chat. RL Corn. We Rob. We also have Nick McLean.
Yeah.
We also have YouTube friends such as Budget Bullion, Blades and Bullion, Michael M, and others. So, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time once again to come up here.
No worries.
To talk to me. So
no worries. I gotta start it off though with a complaint, JT.
Yes.
Should have been watching me in the background, man. I had it immediately.
Oh
I won
man.
that.
Oh man. I'm telling you, man. That I tried to make it as festive as possible. Try to gear it to the guests because everyone's used to me doing fruits. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everybody know I'm gonna pick a mango. Everyone knows if I pick a date or a number, they know what I'm going to pick. So the subscribers know me, you know. So I was like, you know what, I got to do something different. So I had a chance to write it down. But guess what? I got something good for the Canadians as well. So, so guys, how you doing today?
Pretty good, no complaints, that's for sure.
All right. So tell the chat, for those who don't know, and for those who will be seeing this live stream later, what is Muldooms Customs?
Where's the name come from, or what is the rings, or what are you thinking?
Let's start from where the name come from. It's an interesting story.
Well, kind of a long time ago, Dad used to always talk about, tell us stories, etc. And one of his characters was always a guy named Knuckles Muldoon. And so it just kind of stuck. A few years ago, when I was in my teens, I was looking to put a gamer name up on PlayStation, and I didn't have one, so I took the name of Muldoon. And then as kind of time went by, I just always stuck with the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started making rings, I just kind of stuck with the name. And I always kind of thought that it'd be kind of cool to make custom rings that were kind of one of a kind, or things that was just odd or different. So I stuck custom on the end of it, just so that as time goes on and life moves on, it didn't, wasn't just labeled to one thing.
Right. It's pretty cool.
That's where kind of the name comes from, yeah.
So it's got
and there's also a guy by the name of the Champ.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys have it down there, but the Champ was a segment on a radio station up here that we used to always listen to, and he'd always get everything mixed up, and he'd beat up whoever he was talking to. And his good friend Knuckles Muldoon always got beat up.
Oh wow. Pretty cool.
But
pretty cool. I like the fact that you took the name that was familiar, childhood name, and brought it to something that we can kind of get familiar with at this time and age. So, who would you say is your number one influencer in the coin ring community?
would that be now, or would that be when I started?
It can be.
Time goes by, it always changes.
It always changes. Let's go from the beginning. Who first influenced you in the coin ring?
My first video I ever seen was that Fence Kid, the 2-minute quarter,
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, of course, I think everybody's got to throw it out to Skylar for teaching us kind of all the basics. This was going back to late 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of in it before the Swedish rap shirt kind of really became popular.
Right.
So we were, at that point in time, to make a Morgan, you'd have this mass fat tire to get it to any kind of a small shape.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, a different time back then, right? It's so evolved and moved on from then. But as far as of today, I don't know if I could even begin to say the people that influence what I look at, because
I agree.
It's so wide and so variety that you just have to put the people that I follow in Instagram, and you'll see where there's so many people that are so creative that, to label out one person, say this is the most, I don't think it'd be fair to anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because there's so many great artists, and me coming in and I learned so much. Thank goodness people did not close the book or say, you know what, you find out for yourself. They took out the time out to share a technique, share something that they saw it needed some work on my part, and it kind of helped evolve. And so I always look into this coin ring crafting as I'm still learning. And matter of fact, I'm gonna get a shirt to say I'm still learning, because I believe I'm learning every day. And one of the things that I picked up just for the last couple of days, which I absolutely love. It warms my heart up when I see you guys on Instagram just doing the chat, just chatting, you know. But the beautiful thing about it, you're chatting in front of your bench. You know what I'm saying? Where you work at, where you create at, talking about the craft. And I think it does wonders, and it does coin ring crafting so good when you see that type of dialogue, you know. And so how do you feel about the coin ring community when it comes to sharing information?
It's always done me well. It's always been great. You know, if you ever get that shirt that says I'm still learning, toss one my way. I don't think that you could ever plateau learning in this, because there's so many things to learn, so many different techniques. You know, you can get a guy that's a beginner, and he'll just share this one little thing that just like triggers in your head, and you're like, oh, there's the answer, right?
Yeah.
Or you get a guy that's an old salty dog that's been doing it for years, that kind of shows you through a bunch of different things, and you're just always forever learning, right? So, you know, for me, I think that the coin ring community has always been very open booked, and always willing to share techniques and share their philosophies and help in many things, not just in the making of the coin rings.
That's
like
true.
You're saying, you're Ben showing you getting those American Silver Eagles, you know.
Yeah.
I get hit up quite often, just, hey, what about this, or can you get that, or do you have this, or hey, can I get this from? I'm looking for it, or, you know, I've always been helped. I'll say something on, you know, we have that WhatsApp chat. I'll throw something on there that I'm looking for, something that I've seen, and, you know, there's always an offer to, you know, source it for me and send it, or whatever it is. It's phenomenal, really.
Right, it is. It's one of the, just like the stacking community that I learned when I first came in, open arms. There was no competition. It was like, hey, this is what I have. I found out the same thing when it comes down to the coin ring community. I never was like turned away. And believe me, I used to hit Scholar up on his videos like crazy, to the point he's like, look, man, I put it in the video. Look. It was always something that I had to like, oh man, I just don't understand this. But it would message me back. And then I stumbled across that crazy friend of ours called Eric Eason, man. I tell you, absolutely love him because he's so passionate. But in that passion, he shows you exactly what you need. And he doesn't mind like handing it to you. And this is the first time that I was in a group of people doing the same thing. So I didn't feel like alone. Like I had to, you know, really, you know, gather it for myself. I had so much other, you know, I could get it from. So that I just found it to be a beautiful thing. And the dialogue has continued. Like I said, I'm still learning. I've been watching your journey in this for a while. I just said in the intro on IG. Every time you posted, I was like amazed on how the symmetry of your coin rings were going. It's like perfect symmetry, and I know it took a lot of work. And you've been making some difficult rings. So, but which ring gives you the most work?
That's got to be my nightmare. 1881 Morgan.
Yeah.
I've made Morgan after Morgan. I've made 1881 Morgans for other people, but it's 100 years older than my birth year. So it's the one I wanted, right?
Right.
And I went through Morgan after Morgan after Morgan, not enough heat. Cracked it trying to straighten it. Just, yeah. And our friend Eric there, as you mentioned, he actually sent me, I was whining about it in the coin chat about this 1881. Eric took it on himself to send me a couple of 1881s to make sure that I could finally get it done. So, you know, that was pretty awesome of him. Really appreciated that. And I did finally get my 1881 done.
Okay.
I made it how I wanted it. It's a coin ring still, but it's with my twist. Got you,
man. I think the Morgans, I've just started making them. I think I'm only made maybe 3, but I believe Eric is the Morgan King. I've seen about 5 to 10 on his page, and since I've seen him posting, and he does a pretty good job with Morgans as well. What is your favorite coin or round to make a ring out of?
The one that I guess I'd have to ask you the one that I've made or the one that I like to continuously make, because I've got a Guernsey coin, a double Guernsey it was called, and that was sent to me by a fella from the Isle of Guernsey to make for him, and he actually sent me a couple extra for myself. And you know, that was probably one of the nicer ones that I've really done at that time, that I just kind of looked at and I was like, oh wow, that's beautiful coin ring, you know. That really kind of nailed it for me. And then our friend Viking Coinrings,
Cool.
He sent me one that I think it was a 50 kroner from Sweden.
Okay.
And it had these two lions on either side and a big crown in the center. That one was really nice, and it had no reeds on it. So that was like the first one that you could make, that I had made, that was symmetrical on both sides, because I took all the reeds off. There was no reeds. So I was able to take it down to where it looked the same at top and bottom. So your cut edge was the same as your reeded edge.
Oh, wow.
And that still is a standout in my mind for the coin ring stuff, as something that's really kind of a special one to me.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean, with you doing your coin rings, what have you stumbled on that made that technique yours?
That made a certain technique mine?
What
is that technique?
Because
I know in most
go ahead.
Most videos will teach you that you bring it to within two sizes of your desired size, and then flip it around, and to straighten it, you bring it in your two sizes to straighten it. But for myself, what is kind of my technique to get it down so where it's nice and straight is I go past the size and then straighten it, and then I take my rim out of my reeded edge, which I found it was always able to keep it tighter onto the finger, making it a tighter fit. So I'd say that would probably be the one technique that I found that was maybe a little bit different than what most guys do it. I don't know who else out there does it. I've showed a few people it, but that's probably my straightening technique that I've always found has really worked for me.
Which is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'm going to grab on to that. I wish I could find a pen and a piece of paper, because stretching, getting that, cause I always was a fan of that symmetry of your coin ring. So knowing that you go past it, then stretch it to a point, and then you take the reeded, I'm just repeating, take the reeded portion away from it, and to compare it to the cut edge. So all the coin ring guys, we heard it. If you haven't heard it before, you definitely put another jewel. So go ahead, continue.
The other technique that I really like, I know Rob's tried it. There's been a few guys that have tried it. But it's instead of using flame on 999, I use boiling water.
Boiling water.
Yeah. And so I take boiling water. I throw the coin into it till it gets, till you can't hold it basically in your hand. And then when you do very small increments of your folding, and I just found that it kept from keeping that, when you overheat silver or you heat it up too much, it gets almost a bubble look to it.
Yes.
It really helps in that bubbling look. You fight with a bit of stretch marks with the boiling water because you're not getting it up to that annealing temperature. But if you're folding it nice and slow, that'll help out with your stretch marks as well. It's just more time in the hot water, making sure that it's getting nice and hot, and then keeping the water boiling as well.
Wow.
But I do that on my 4.9. So if you see a size 15 4.9 on my page, that's never been flame kissed.
Wow.
Or boiling water. Yeah.
That's amazing. And what makes you stumble across that technique?
I don't remember.
Wow.
I've been doing it for a few years now, so it I do know that I've made a few, the Canadian maple, or the Canadian maple, I'll take that as an example, the 4.9 silver. I always found that when I was heating it up, I couldn't find that balance of not enough heat to too much heat. So I was looking for alternate sources of heat to heat it up. And that's when I came across this boiling water. Probably. It was in that time frame anyway. I was tired of that orange peel, or the peeled, like, you know, the look of overheating that silver. I was tired of that being on my rings. So at that point in time, I was looking for alternate sources.
Wow.
So when exactly that was, I don't really remember, but 2 years ago.
I asked this question last night. Do you keep notes as you make your rings, or you partaking to a new one? Okay,
No.
Would you find that distracting?
No, because I always feel that, like, with every piece of silver that you work with, it moves differently for you. So I feel like if you have notes, you're not going to pay attention to how the silver is moving for you and how it feels as you're pushing it down your tubes. Either it's through the 15 degrees inertial folds, or if you're going down into your Swedish wraps. I always find that each one always kind of goes different. You'll feel it where it gets a little bit tight. You need to get a little bit more heat onto that, you know, re-anneal it or whatever you got going on. So I don't keep the notes. I do have a guide to a degree as to how far down the Swedish wraps I have to push my silver in order to be able to get to a desired length or a desired finger size. But really, when you go past, you can always bring it back up a little bit, and it doesn't affect you too much. The one thing that I did used to keep notes on is what coin or what round, how far down, if you brought it past your size, how far past that size you'd have to go in order to be able to take the read off and hit your size.
Cool.
So that was about the only thing I really took notes on for a while, but it's been a while since I've had to go to the notes. I don't use notes anymore.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I always just ask that question because I know I'm forgetful, and I was like, dang, how did I do it last time? And I just want to make sure. So I guess certain things I would jot down just to kind of jog my memory. When it comes down to coin ring making and creating designs, one thing that I think that the census loves about your recent design, and I think that Rob put it like 12 times in the chat, the smalter. How did you come up with that?
So the smelter was originally, like, I got a lot of my ideas from industrial area. I like an industrial look. That's something that I like. So that smelter actually came from being up at my cousin's place, who is a stainless steel welder and tank builder.
Okay.
And he just had this stuff sitting scratched out of a tank, and I thought, that's cool. I was like, what creates that, you know? And so then he showed me this grinding disc that takes off all the welds, etc. So I kind of thought, well, how do I get that into something small enough to be able to put onto a ring of sorts?
Right.
And so that's kind of been the journey of the smelter. And then my friend up at Jtcoinrings there, smelter is actually and I'm very careful, might get corrected on this, but I was under the impression that smelter was the word for melting, or something like that in Swedish. And I have my background or my heritage is Swedish and Norwegian, so I thought, well, I'll put that in there. I like that.
Okay.
So I called it the smelter texture.
It's pretty cool. I'm glad because when I looked at it and I saw you make the copper ring, I said, oh my gosh, I gotta have that. And I'm so glad I gotta have that in my personal creation that you made, and I love it. And matter of fact, my friend Blades and Bullion, he's looked at it and said, oh my goodness, JT, how did you make that? I said, bro, there's no way in hell that I could. But you will meet Wade, the creator of that beautiful ring. So I know me and Rob definitely love it, and he definitely put that inside the chat to make sure I bring that up. Absolutely lovely coin design. So basically, the next question was, which coin ring do you feel is your signature piece, masterpiece? And I got this part from our friend Eric, your Mona Lisa.
My Mona Lisa, I don't know. A difficult one to really answer because I think a Mona Lisa is a finished piece that's never going to be topped, if I can put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keeps me going, is always looking for the next piece, the next design, the next texture. So if I was to ever find that Mona Lisa, would I be done with coin rings at that point in time? Would I be done with that journey? So I can't really say what would be my Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some coin rings out there that I like and that I would like to build,
Right.
but I don't know if that's the way it would be. Like if that would be the top for me. I've always tried to look for the next level, the next experience, the next material to work with, or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is. And for myself, I might wear a ring for a couple of weeks or a month at a time.
Yeah.
And then I'm off looking for something else, looking
yeah.
for the next one.
Right.
So I'm always constantly evolving what I try and wear or what I try and have, and that kind of comes from my wedding ring. I designed my wedding ring with a jeweler, and then the end result of what I got, I liked, but it wasn't there. It wasn't like my envisionment wasn't on the ring, if I could put it that way. So I've always chased that. And as time's gone by, of course, your tastes change, and
Right.
what you like is different. And so my tastes have changed as well. But I've never hit that pinnacle of where I could say, all right, we're done here. This is the final variation of it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see even with my small design, if you go back to the ring exchange that Viking Coin Rings, I can't remember his old name now. It's Silver Lining Coin Rings is who he's become. Joel and myself, we all did a ring exchange, and in that ring exchange, we had to make 3 matching rings, and then we kept one of our own, and then shipped the other 2 to the other 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the first meltas that I had come back with. I'd made some before that I wasn't happy with, and it wasn't really like I couldn't control my grinding discs and stuff like that, so I kind of come back to it again. And then if you see what that is in comparison to the last smelt I posted with the bevels, the chamfering inside, you'll see that it's just a constant progression.
Okay. Let me see, can I find that on as you answer this question here. How can we run a successful business as coin ring creators?
How can we expand ourselves as successful businesses?
Right.
Well, I think we need to take it from the hobby form into an actual business. So I think that if you're going to, if you want to do it as a hobby, then do it as a hobby, no problem. A hobby is something that you put money into on a monthly basis that you enjoy doing, and it doesn't really matter what it costs you. But if we're taking it to an actual business, then we need to treat it like a business. We need to have, like a proper set of books. You have to have money allocated for different stuff, which would also make it so that you would run it like a business to move it forward as a business. If that makes sense. You gotta have a ledger book. You gotta have your inventory stocks. You have to have, money for tools and expansion of your tool range, etc. Right? So I feel that if we're going to take it from the hobby level to a business, you have to run it as a business.
I agree.
I got myself caught up when I first started doing this. What I found was that I was continuously dumping money from my own pocket into my coin ring making, and towards the end of that phase, if I can put it that way, I decided that I would start a ledger book. And in my ledger book, I made sure that I kept out money for, to replace the ring that you just built, the silver value of it, I would make sure that I would have money set aside for tools. I'd have money set aside for shop, supplies, so that I was no longer reaching to my own back pocket to support my ring building.
Yes.
And so I've kept it that way. And I got 4 kids, wife and 4 kids. It's not something I could just be constantly taking out of our money to be able to continue to fund my hobby, if I can put it that way. When the potential is there to be able to create something that somebody would purchase, that's enough that you can actually move it forward as a business.
Right. It's okay to put the money into the business and in the beginning to initial phase, but as I agree with you 100%, as the business grows, then you just keep on reinvesting what you already made. Because I do find that for myself, I get overzealous. I get happy sometimes. I wind up going coin crazy. I think I'm buying coins every day, and I think that my PO boxes just keep on filling up with different coins, and I'm like, oh man, I paid $50 for this coin. I paid this, and it all adds up. So I started doing exactly what you started mentioning, just like, hey, this is coming from the business. I got to buy new tools. I have to buy this coin from that profit. So it made me pay close attention to it, because coin ring crafting is not a cheap. I mean, so it's not. Yes, it's a very expensive hobby. And you have to pay attention to every coin, every dollar, if you wanted to make it a business.
And you have to have something set aside, because let's be honest, I got a bucket full of scrap of things that I've wrecked or broke or screwed up on. I don't think any of us are perfect in it. Some of us probably make a lot less mistakes than others, and then some of us just throw caution to the wind and say, screw it, let's just try it.
Right.
But, so some people end up with more screw ups than others, and that's just the way life will work. But, you do have to get the money to replace that coin at some point in time to finish your product for your customer if someone's purchased one, right?
Right.
I can remember a Walking Liberty that I had to build, and I wasn't very familiar with building the Walking Liberty. And on those old coins, the $50, how the body sticks out so much from the coin, right?
Yeah.
And I just kept cleaning the detail off. I think it was over what I had actually got paid for the thing in coins, just trying to get this thing to look as how I wanted it to look.
Right.
Yeah. But that's kind of my genetic makeup. If it's not the absolute best that I can do, then I can't see it go out the door.
Wow. I mean, I think that perfection is what makes this beautiful art right here. Like, for those who can see this is the one of the rings that Wade made, and I have this one. But look at the mirror finish, the inside. I, as a crafter, never got to this point to make this a mirror finish inside. Then the beautiful texture on the outside here. Absolutely beautiful, man. And he always takes the best picture that complements the coin ring. So just seeing the close attention to detail. Now, when I received this, I told you that this ring felt like something kind of X-rated, something I don't want to mention on on air, but you get my drift.
I was there. I remember that conversation.
Yes.
I like that line. Yeah, it was funny.
And I was like, this is ridiculous how beautiful this ring is, the details. And I looked at it and says, man, there's another level. And this is where it is right here. And I think that everyone who's seen this ring, and I'm giving everybody an opportunity to see this now, look how beautiful the texture is. Let me see if I can add some more as well. Let me go
you
to
can even see progression from there, though, JT, because that one, yours that you have, I wasn't smelting the edges at that point in time, the beveled part. It was actually Rob. One night, me and him were together, and I messed up one of the bevels, and I couldn't seem to clean it up right. And so I just thought, well, you know what? worst case scenario, should I try and smelt to the edge? And Rob gave me the encouragement to go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
Rob is from Jtcoinrings, if anybody's wondering who Rob is, but he's on your show. I'm sure everyone knows.
Yes.
But you know, he was like, "Yeah, dude, I think that would look really good." And so we gave it a shot that night, and you know what you're seeing in your hand now is right on your screen there is kind of some of the final product of that, where I smelted out the edge.
And I see,
and
right?
I do that on all of them now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't notice. I can notice now. Yes, this is different from the one I received.
Yeah. So originally I was trying to take it so the polish would come kind of from the inside and wrap the outside, and then you hit the smelter texture in the center. But now after doing the one that I did that night with Rob, I just like the way this looks better. It looks more uniform going into the smelt on the bevel. I still get requests for the shiny side. There's some people that see it off of my Instagram and still request the shiny, and I'll do that. That's no big deal. Everybody loves what they love, so I'm willing to accommodate, but that's kind of the standard now.
Wow, absolutely, man. This is beautiful work. Now, I'm going to ask you here, how did you get this mirror finish inside? How did you do that?
The mirror finish inside, I use sandpaper, of course, to try and get some of the lines that I get when I clean off the inside detail. I start off with a belt sander, of course, on the coin ring, the coin when I start it, clean off all the detail. Then I make the ring. When the ring's made, I take on the inside some sandpaper and I clean it up until I'm about 2,000 grit sandpaper.
Okay.
So you're going up as you go. You know, I start around 400, 6, 8, 1,000, 12,000, 14,000, 15,000, and 2,000. I think it's the run at which I do now. So once it's at that 2,000, it's very smooth and shiny already.
Right.
But then I take the mother's mag polish with my Dremel and my flex shaft, I think it's called, and I polish it and polish it and polish it.
I'm gonna have to purchase one of those. I know that our friend Eric was told me about that, and I did see one. I'm definitely had to take my coin ring to get that.
Yeah, he convinced me to buy one. That's why I say, you know, that's why we're always learning, because you know, Eric's been in the game for about a year, and he's a phenomenal artist, and he gave me that idea with that. Now, if I couldn't listen to anybody, or I thought I knew everything, I thought, you know, I would have never listened to that advice. But I'm so thankful I listened to that advice.
Yeah.
Because it just adds a level of, you know, of detail, step above what you were doing before, is all.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. It's amazing what can happen. I'm looking right now. Please don't tell me, for my ego, for my heart, that you made this out of one coin.
Not that particular one.
Okay.
No.
Woo! I'm about to hang up. I'm about to hang up my stuff right now and put it for sale tomorrow. If you told me you got these 3 perfect coin rings, I'm out of one coin. But absolutely beautiful with the smelter on each of the bands. You know, and that's absolutely beautiful. I think I just witnessed this week. Did you just finish this week, if I'm not mistaken?
A couple weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
That one there is out of 2 different. What I was doing is I was going through some of my screw up pile, and I wanted to try and see what I'd make from it, not caring about what happened to it because it's from the screw up pile, you know.
Right.
And so my wife actually, she's seen a cutoff that I had that I was trying to take a woman size smelter at about 4 millimeters wide, and she's seen a cutoff, and she's like, "Oh, are you making stackers?"
Wow.
It kind of clicked in, you know. And so then I started cutting them up into small ones. And I hate to tell you, JT, but the ones that I do now are all from one ring.
Oh,
coin.
Wow. Let me tell you something.
Sorry, buddy.
Man, it just tells me there's another level I'm still learning.
Yeah, but now you can get all three from one coin. You have to be careful with it, and when you form it out, you have to make sure you start with the smallest hole that you can.
Okay.
Form it out, and then cut it up accordingly. And you have to be fairly accurate on your cuts because you have about a 1/2 mil of variation to get it right. So it's not the most accurate thing in the world. 1/2 mil is still quite a bit, but it's just one of those things you gotta have a little bit of extra care with.
Man, I tell you, absolutely beautiful. I'm looking at the chat right now. Not that I'm ignoring the chat, just engrossed in the conversation, guys. Nick McLean, I'm from Badland Coins, also a Canadian. To anyone, DM me for the invite to the Coin Ring chat group. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, Nick's got a fantastic group in there too. He kind of came up with that. It's a WhatsApp group, and he's got a fantastic group in there. A bunch of good guys.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely learned a lot. So much talent on that chat. I learned by the pictures. It's just a lot of great work, man. It just opened my eyes to what can be. So definitely, I love both of the chats that have been created. Let me see another pic here that I wanted to show. This right here. I call this the lug nut design because it has those beautiful cuts, but you also keep that beautiful detail inside. How did you come up with this here?
Chasing that wedding ring of mine. So I like a flat side. Originally, I really like a hammered look, but I don't like the hammered look to be so small. So to actually take the ball peen hammer and smack it against the silver, I think we've all done that at one point in time, but I just didn't find that it gave me the look that I wanted. So I wanted a bigger flat space, if I can put it that way. And so I came up with first it was the heavy hammered look. And the heavy hammered look was trying to emulate that hammered finish, but in a bigger size. And then when I was doing that, this one here actually came by accident when I was trying to do my heavy hammered look. I went too far on my belt sander, and then it came this perfect flat line across, as you see there. And I thought, you know what, that looks good. So then I did it on. I did it so it's got 8 sides on it, and I called it the heavy 8, kind of coming from that heavy hammered look.
Awesome.
So that was a mistake that turned out for me, I guess, if I can put it that way.
I mean, like I said before, how you just can stumble on something creative, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Going through the everyday trial of creating a coin ring, and you come into something that you make your own, and once again, you put out a banging design. No pun intended. Which is one of my favorites here. I'm gonna go also to your website. So let me. I want to stop sharing this one here and go to your website so people can find your Etsy page. My apologies. Let me put that out as well. 1 second.
Sure.
And go share the audio. Awesome. This is it right here. And I want to tell people here, and some of the prices, guys, that me and Wade were talking about. Here's the stacking silver right here. One of the stacking silver rings, the one we showed as well. Beautiful collection. Here's another silver ring with matching stacker. Man, he's doing some great work. This is another beautiful design here. The one-of-a-kind rings, unique.
If you actually click on that, I don't know if you can or not, JT, but what I have in there is I've got just a collection of pictures of stuff that I've made that's kind of one-off stuff.
Wow. So right here, pretty cool, man. Look at that. Look at those guys, and look at that finish inside with the Maker's Mark. Look at this here. Awesome. I'm telling you, this is one of the best coin ring guys out there. He put so much time and care to his rings. Beautiful work, Wade, man. Beautiful work. This is
Thank you.
his Etsy page. I'll be putting that up as well. Let's go through some more. Make sure I don't lose out here. Let me go. Okay. 1 second. Gotta find my way again. All right. All right. Boom. We got here. That's the one of the rings we just saw recently. Let me see if we can get another one here. We have some maple, some Canadian corns here. Oh, you make other things like keychains as well. Okay.
Make a few different things, yeah.
We have a Libertad, Peace Dollar. Awesome work. Beautiful. So guys, you're going to check out this page here on his Etsy. Let me come up here because I want to make sure I put that down as well so they can see the banner, the Etsy banner. There we go. You go to Muldooms Customs on Etsy, and you can check out more of his work. Wade, won't you let them know also where they can find you?
Instagram, of course, and that's Muldooms. That's Doom is with DOOM. Seems to autocorrect to an N on the end all the time, but it's Muldooms_Customs. I do have a private page on Instagram, but I don't turn anybody away.
Okay.
I try and get it so that I don't have any of the bot followers on there. I seem to be a bit plagued with that start of it all, so I got rid of that, put it into a private room, but I don't turn anybody away. Anybody's welcome on my page. The other place, of course, is Etsy, as you've already mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just signed up to Metals Mafia.
Metals Mafia. Pit Bullion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pit Bullion. Yeah. You've got a site up there where it's free for anybody to. He doesn't charge any fees to buy or sell.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to do something for the makers as well as for the sellers. Like on Etsy takes a piece
right.
of everything that you sell, which is how they make a living. I understand that.
Right.
But it also it increases the price for the buyer as well.
Mm-hmm.
So on Metals Mafia, when he gets that up and running, that's going to be fantastic for, I think, everybody to have a good platform to be able to buy and sell off of. Lots of port artists on there. I know our friend that was on here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He's on there as well, I believe.
Yeah, I put myself on as well. I just haven't posted anything just yet, but I'm looking forward to doing it soon. I tried to do it by my phone. It was I'm unsuccessful with the phone, but I'm gonna do it on my computer. But I think he's doing a good thing, and Pitbull is a pretty good guy, and also a poor artist as well. So, he does some good work. So that's good that you're on it as well. We're gonna do the giveaway. It's gonna be a surprise, guys. We don't know what he's gonna give, but you've seen this man's work, so you know whatever he does is gonna be top notch. And I appreciate you for just doing that. I make sure I send you one of these Let's Chat coffee mugs up in Canada, so you can sip your favorite coffee in the mug.
Yep.
Really appreciate you doing that. This is right here is a riddle, guys. A 3-part answer again. I don't want to make it too easy. I want y'all to work for these beautiful gifts that these creators are putting out today. But it's still easy enough for you to get it. Now, everybody, make sure
you interrupt you for half a second, JT?
Sure.
My wife just sent me a message. She's obviously watching this. We're also on Facebook. Muldooms Customs.
That's right. Always, and also on Facebook. We know what? Yeah. If we did not bring that up, we could have made sure we had that marker as well. But it is Muldooms Customs. Muldooms is spelled Muldooms, Customs without an E at the end. He's on Etsy. He's also on Instagram and also find him on Facebook. Everyone, check this man out. Great work, as you've seen tonight. Cool guy. I really think Canadians are probably the most kindest guys in the world. I tell you, class act, man. I definitely appreciate you taking the time out and being on this chat and on this segment of Corn Ring Talk, man. So this right here, every guys, you got to put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for this giveaway. Right now, we're 1 hour and 36 minutes in it. You know how we always go over, but we always have good guests, so it doesn't even matter. All right, guys. 1, put a 1 in the chat. We got Ben 1, Rocky Mountain Bear. Thank you so much for joining. Patriotic Goomba, aka Michael Y. Thank you so much. We have Michael M, already a big winner tonight. Can he make it 2? Can he make it 2? We don't know. But you know one thing, when he's in the house, you better watch out.
Got to be on your game.
You got to be on your game. All right, so we got everyone in the chat who put 1 up. All right, guys, this is a little riddle. This is the best that I could do, okay? But you got to pick it out. It's 3 answers in this riddle. All right, 3 answers, and you got to put it in the order, okay? Canada, all right? Tell me 3 things about Canada. Tell me 3 things what Canada is known for. Every morning, I would love to have it on my breakfast stack. Filled with energy, now it's time to play the national game. But don't forget your coat, because you're bound to be chilly, because this is what Canada is known for. If you know those 3 things, I need you to put it in that order, and voila, you have it. All right, let's see what they got here. All right.
Did you just ask what our national sport is for the second one? Or what we're most known for?
Most known for.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Yes. Well, you got one. Golly, this man ain't no joke. This man is no joke. Now I have to go back and check. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right. We got Michael M. Once again. His first joke, he always gets me on this. He says, coconut oil, canned goods, I don't know. You know, the one thing that I love. He knows that coconut oil is my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I love canned goods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here we go. We hit him. He got Michael M. The first one was maple syrup. The second was hockey. And Canada is known for its winter. Being a Canadian, he would know. So that's it.
I was going to say, I better be sending that ring to Canada. There's enough Canadians in the chat. They better be going to Canada.
I know that's right. Congratulations, Michael M. Once again. But what is the other national sport?
The other national sport, I believe, is lacrosse.
Other sport. You could lacrosse. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the hockey is. Mm-hmm. So there we go, Michael M. Congratulations, man. I was seeing if you said anything. Michael M., thank you so much for participating in the live chat and always coming by and supporting Let's Chat. Wade, thank you once again, brother, for taking the time out. I know it's time to retire, to get some rest, because you've been chatting all day. Man, you've been sharing information all day.
Kind of a little bit busy today, that's for sure.
Yeah, we did earlier with handcrafted by File. You had that earlier last night with Ben, the night before with Rob. So you've been rolling corn ring chatting for real.
Yeah,
Man,
out
so
there. Had to get ready for JT's show.
man, you did an excellent job, man, and definitely it's been a pleasure. Tell the guys your last parting words.
My what? Sorry.
Tell what would you like to say to the chat before you leave.
Well, thanks guys for showing up. And if there's any makers out there, never be afraid to break a coin or two.
I know that's
Never
right.
know what comes from it.
I know that's right. Thanks a lot, Wade. Appreciate you
Yep.
taking the time out. Guys, go to Muldooms Customs on Etsy. Make sure you also check him out on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks to his wife for making that reminder. Wade,
That's
take
right.
care, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you.
Thanks, JT.
All right, take care.
See ya.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time here on Let's Chat. We had two great guests on the Gold Spartan. Make sure you check them out on thegoldspartan.com. Don't forget, it's right down below, Muldooms Custom on Etsy. That's where you'll find his coins. Also, you can check him on Instagram, as we said before, on Facebook. Make sure you follow me on my page. If you're not a subscriber of Jtcoinrings, go ahead, hit that button, hit the notification bell. Please like this video, share it, tell people about it. I'd like to see more people in the chat next week. Don't forget, I have a show tomorrow with my friend Eli from Urban Lifestyle. Will be on our channels. Let's talk about Silver Talk. Silver Talk, we mentioned silver. So check it out tomorrow. Me and Eli coming live at 1 p.m. You guys are great, man. Everywhere on YouTube, we see videos. We never get an opportunity to talk and chat with the creators. If you want your opportunity on Let's Chat, please email me at jtcoinrings@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Instagram, also Facebook. Come by, leave a chat. Just tell me what day you want to have come on, and I'll make the time out for you to do an interview. I love you guys all. I hope you enjoyed today. You guys are awesome. Peace out. See you next week.